I'll call the meeting to order. If you would, please rise. I'm going to call on Commissioner Griner to lead us in the invocation and the pledge.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this wonderful day you've given us. Lord, just give us your wisdom tonight and your patience and peace. And Lord, just help us to follow your will for our lives as individuals and with county business tonight, Lord. Just thank you for the first responders and our military that take care of us each and every day, Lord. And we just want to please you and do your will. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Griner. Commissioners, inside your packet, you have your minutes from the work session and the regular session minutes of February the 10th. If there's no additions, deletions, or corrections that need to be made, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion for approval.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 5A is our first rezoning case. This is REZ 2020-01 for Nancy G. Hobby. It is located at 2626 Loch Laurel Road. It's currently R1. The request is for EA. It has well and septic, and this involves 10.0 acres, and it's located in Districts 3 and 5. Ms. Stevenson?
Good evening, thank you. This request does involve approximately 10 acres on Loch Laurel Road. The applicant is wishing to have the property rezoned from the current R1 to EA. EA zoning is a permissible zoning classification in a rural residential character area in which this parcel is depicted on the comprehensive plan future development map. And if you recall, the parcel adjacent to the south was recently rezoned from R1 to EA. The TRC considered the request, had no objectionable comments, and staff has found the request consistent with the comprehensive plan. Additionally, at its January meeting, the Planning Commission voted unanimously to recommend approval of the request.
Okay. Any questions for Ms. Stevens? Okay, we'll turn it over to the public participation portion of the meeting. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in opposition to this request? Anyone that would like to speak in opposition? Hearing none, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in favor of this request? Anyone that would like to speak in favor? Hearing none, we'll close the public participation portion of the meeting and turn it back over to the commissioners for your consideration.
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the rezoning request. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 5B is the rezoning case REZ 2020-02. This is SKT Investments LLC. It's located on Lester Road. The request is EA to RA. It has well and septic, and this involves 10.55 acres. And this request as well is located in Districts 3 and 5. Ms. Stevenson.
Thank you. The motivation behind this request is to potentially subdivide the parcel and place up to 8 single-family dwellings on the property. There is adjacent RA zoning to the south. The comprehensive plan does list RA zoning as a permitted zoning within a rural residential character area. The Planning Commission heard the request and unanimously recommended for its approval. The TRC had no objectionable comments. However, the Health Department did stress that a well and septic installation for any and all dwellings will be subject to Health Department requirements. Staff has been informed that there have been a couple of phone calls from nearby residents concerned about how wet the property is, and the Health Department will be dictating with perk tests.
Any questions for Ms. Stevens? Okay, hearing none, we'll open up the public participation portion of the meeting. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in opposition to this request? Is there anyone that would like to speak in opposition to this request? Hearing none, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in favor of this request? Anyone that would like to speak in favor of the request? Hearing none, we'll close the public participation portion of the meeting and turn it back over to the commissioners for your consideration.
Motion to approve.
Do we have a motion to approve the request? Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 6A is the Microserver 2019 Data Center License. Mr. Bayshore?
Yes, this will replace over 40 licenses that are currently end of life in our data center.
Any questions for Mr. Bayshore? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve.
We have a motion to approve the request. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, call the vote. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 6B is the request to accept Ham Estates Drive into County Road inventory for this is actually for maintenance, but I think there's some discussion we need to have on that. Mr. Fletcher.
Yes, sir. This is just the introductory of bringing Ham Estates to you. We have a petition that has been signed by the property owners, and for the county to take this over for maintenance, and we are bringing it to you for your guidance.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask the county attorney to give you some additional information relative to the emails that you have received today. Walter?
Yes, in October, you passed a resolution that's entitled Resolution Regarding Dedications of Private Roads to Become County Roads. Section A of that provides that the county manager will advise the Board of Commissioners of a proposed dedication. So we're treating this petition as triggering that provision. Then Section B says the Board of Commissioners will provide the county manager direction regarding the process to be employed under the circumstances of this particular road. So that's where we are. We recommend that process begin with the preparation of a plat of the right-of-way of this road, and then a determination of the title of the adjoining property owners, and then the preparation of a document to be signed by each of the adjoining property owners, not residents, but property owners, actually dedicating the right-of-way for public use as a county road. Importantly, the law requires an intention to dedicate the private land for public use here, a county road. The petition we have actually requests the Board of Commissioners to maintain the road. It doesn't achieve the requirement of expressing an intention to dedicate, so we will have to close the loop by preparing a document that expresses that intention to be signed by each of the adjoining property owners. But in order to complete that, we need to prepare a plat of the road and also determine who owns each of the adjoining properties.
So if I hear that correctly, we still would need to give Mr. Pritchard the direction to move forward with that dedication,
Yes.
following those procedures that was recommended.
Yes.
I had a question for Mr. Pritchard. What type of timeline would you be looking at that it may take, say, staff to achieve the task?
Commissioner, we're talking about probably a month.
Okay. Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
A motion to accept Ham Estate Drive into the county road inventory for maintenance.
And to give Mr. Pritchard
And to give
direction
Mr.
to move forward.
And to give Mr. Pritchard
Okay.
direction to.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to add one thing to the motion, is that's based on their dedication of the road to Lowndes County.
Correct. Okay. You accept that, Ms.
Accept
Evans?
that, yes.
That amendment, okay. So we have a motion, we have a second. Call the vote, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 6C is the approval of the Clydestone Road Simpson Lane right-of-way purchases. Mr. Fletcher.
Yes, sir. What you have before you is our 23 of the 39 deeds from Simpson Lane and Clydestone Road. That is the first road under the TIA project. So these were ready for your approval tonight.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Fletcher? Okay. Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the acquisition from the respective grantors of the identified properties for the purchase prices and terms of the acquisition for each property as set forth by the right-of-way deeds.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 6D is the approval of Clydestone Road and Simpson Lane right-of-way acquisition. Mr. Fletcher.
Yes, sir. This is also part of this project. This is another deed, but this also has a quitclaim deed that is attached to it where the county will be quitclaiming some unused right-of-way. So that's why we kept this one separate, is because it's got a quitclaim deed. So we will need to approve the purchase or the acquisition of the property as well as the chairman to sign the quitclaim deed.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Fletcher? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the exchange with the Woods of the identified properties as set forth in the deeds and authorize you to sign those.
Okay, we have the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 6E is the 2020 Administrative Services Agreement with Allied Benefit Systems. Mr. Beals?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, as stated, this is our administrative services agreement with Allied Benefits. Allied Benefits provides third-party administration services for our health benefit plan for the county. Their administrative responsibilities include all health claims administration, pre-certification, and case management. They have been serving us since 2018, and we'd like them to continue through the end of this calendar year doing the same.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Beals? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we approve the 2020 Administrative Services Agreement with Allied Benefit Services Systems and
Okay.
authorize you to sign.
Thank you, sir. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. The next agenda item is the de-annexation of Gaines property by Lake Park. Ms. Amio?
So to recap from yesterday, Mr. Jerry Gaines would like to de-annex his property located at 5567 Old US Highway 41 South. The property is separated by Old US 41 South, with the lakefront portion being in Lake Park and the remnant in Lowndes County. If the board so chooses, we have a resolution consenting to this de-annexation. That's the subject property above outlined in blue.
Any questions for Ms. Amio? Thank you, Ms. Amio.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make the commission aware that your actions tonight, assuming that you accept this, really just indicates your willingness to accept it. The final decision will rest with the council of Lake Park.
City of Lake Park, correct. Okay. Commissioners, any other questions?
No, sir.
Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adopt the proposed resolution consenting to de-annexation.
Okay, we have a motion to adopt the proposed resolution consenting to the de-annexation. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 7A is the bid for repairs to Knights Academy Road. Mr. Fletcher.
Yes, sir.
As a result of the recent DOT inspections on our culverts and bridges, DOT found that there was a significant failure at the box culvert on Bemis Knights Academy Road, on Knights Academy Road, and so this is the emergency repair to this, and I have contracts in the room from Roundtree Construction, already signed.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Fletcher? Okay. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we accept the bid from Roundtree Construction in the amount of $50,433.
We have a motion to accept the bid from Roundtree Construction in the amount of $50,433. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. Chairman, does that also include the authorization of you signing?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Okay. We have the motion, we have the second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Next agenda item, County Manager Report. Mr. Pritchard.
No report this evening.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pritchard. All right, citizens wishing to be heard. Our first citizen is Mr. Michael Knoll. If you would, please come forward and state your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Chairman Slaughter and Commissioners. I have some things. My name is Dr. Michael Knoll. I'm a citizen here in the city, as you all well know, and I would like to hand out two pieces of paper for your information. If that's
You
possible.
hand them to Ms. Deeks, please.
And there should be enough copies for it. I'm basically here tonight to speak on behalf of KLVB, Keep Lowndes and Waldorf Beautiful. If I could please ask all the members in the audience who are here in support of KLVB to stand for me, that would be wonderful. Thank you. I've honestly only gotten involved with KLVB at some point last fall.
Y'all go ahead and sit back down. Thank you.
My colleague, Dr. Carl Hand, retired and moved to New York State, and I always like to get involved in the community because this community has dear to me and to my family. I do know that on occasions we may have disagreements about one thing and the other, but in the end, when it comes to such matters as the environment, I think we all are on the same page, because we ultimately want to make sure that our children and grandchildren are inheriting a planet from us that is worth living on. As I was doing research on KLVB, as I got more involved in the organization, I realized just what kind of an incredible impact KLVB has had over the years. Now, this organization has only existed for about 23 years, which actually is a fairly long time, honestly. And in these 23 years, there have been a number of programs that KLVB has been steadfastly supporting. We're talking about such major events as Rivers Alive, the Great American Cleanup, Make a Difference Day, Bring One for the Chipper, electronics, recycling, and so on. If you look at the numbers, the total of volunteers who have participated in the various events over the years of KLVB, these are more than 13,000 volunteers, non-paid, just doing what I like to do, roll up their sleeves and get to work and trying to make a difference. During these years, they have collected what amounts to more than 2,600,000 pounds of trash. Basically, that would have either stayed somewhere in the environment, may have been washed down by a creek or a river, or certainly not have added anything to the beauty of our county. This also includes more than 3,400 tires. This also includes various kinds of appliances that are sometimes even just left behind on the side of the road. And so when you look at all of these together, this is also why I wanted to show you these pictures. When we talk about numbers, they don't mean as much. But when you see the kind of involvement that KLB has had over the years, where on one hand, for example, we are working with schools to promote basically environmental stewardship. There are schools like Lowndes High School or Lomax Elementary School where you have students who are interested in, get involved in, and want to do something about the environment. And they have, because of their efforts, then also been rewarded or have received some recognition for their efforts. This is perhaps one of our most important missions, to educate our children who go to school about the importance of having a clean and safe environment. You also have certainly students themselves participating in various events, and for example, you have an electronic recycling event, which I had the chance also to participate in now twice, as well as Make a Difference Day, where you have students from Valdosta State University as well as from our local high schools participate. And it's fun to be with them and to work with them. And I've actually seen quite a few people from the city and county, Mr. Hardy, for example, participate in those events as well. You have local businesses who are part of KLOB's efforts. We have been recognized at some point for the cleanup they do along roads. We have been recognized for beautiful business awards. You have tons and tons of citizens who help with bringing one to the chipper with Rivers Alive. And I myself got a little bit dirty just this last fall, as I literally was so impatient with the dirt or the plastic or the styrofoam that was in that creek behind Valdosta State University. I found it appalling. I just simply at some point got in the water and it's like, not important, I need to get this stuff out. You also have to realize that it's not just community and education and environmental stewardship. The important thing is also that the events that KLVB has organized through the years are actually important for the county and the city, because they are part of the reporting when it comes to the MS4 permits, which are actually very, very important too. And the Environmental Protection Division will ask for these pieces of information. What are we doing to keep our watershed, our stormwater system clean? Is this what this boils down to? And so if you put all these pieces together, it is to me surprising, mind-boggling, or I cannot follow the decision that was made to cut the funding for KLVB at a time when we actually should probably increase the funding. So this is why I'm here tonight. I would like you to seriously look at all the work that KLVB has done over the years and to restore the funding as we've had it for the last couple of years so that we can do our work together as a community. And you all are invited to come with me and clean up the rivers too. All right? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Novak. Okay, our next citizen is Ms. Jeanette Cootie. Please come forward and state your name and address for the record, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Jeanette Cootie. I live 2202 Deborah Drive, Valdosta, Georgia. Been here 60 years. Am a volunteer and have been a volunteer for KLVB since its inception. In fact, I spent 3 days in Albany, Georgia at Darton College trying to learn the organization and to bring it to Valdosta, Georgia. I feel that as a volunteer, I have been one of the most active members that has participated in this program, and I'm here to support this program and to support Aaron. I have never missed a project that has been held within 19 years or since the inception of KLVB, whatever that date might be. But it's my joy to speak in behalf of KLVB and to know the good that it has done. I am here to tell you facts. I have been a board member was a board member for the first 10 years and couldn't be replaced for a long time. I wouldn't have stayed 10 years, but the county finally named somebody to take my place. And it was a joy. I never missed a meeting. When you count up the hours that I've spent with this, I have to support the organization now, because at Darton College we were told to support the organization we were trying to bring into Valdosta. It is an affiliate of Keep America Beautiful, and we are proud that we've had the joy of having it for this long. I'm here to say that we need KLVB. I do not know. I have found some of the answers. I don't have to ask questions because I found some of the answers since I got here, so I'll spare you that. I am among friends. I happen to know the chairman. I happen to know the county manager. The county manager and I, we are among friends. Friends work together. People care for one another. We need this organization. I do not know what the plans are, and that's one of the reasons I'm here. Maybe I can find out something. I also found out tonight about, I asked the question, was a job description in Aaron Strickland's folder? Has he performed his duties? If he did not perform his duties, was he called on the carpet? Now, I was a human resource manager for 20 years with Levi Strauss & Company. I know the ins and outs of the roads of personnel. So we want to be sure what we are doing is the right thing. We don't want this to be just a personal thing, and I'm not speaking for just a personal thing. I'm speaking because I happen to love KLVP and the things that it does. We cannot allow, having moved here in 63, I have seen the population double. Can you imagine what it was when I came here in 63? I do. We adopted a street. I led my woman's club that I was president of to adopt a street that was so bad. It happened to be near my house, in front of my house. We don't even have to clean it now because we did a good job. We notified the neighbors. We did what we needed to do in order to get this corrected. We, as a club, we had adopted Drexel Park. We're fixing to do the same thing again, if we can do it, whether it be through KLVB or whatever. But Valdosta needs cleaning up. I was in China 10 years ago. The cleanest place I've ever been in my life is Beijing, China, with billions of people there. And we can do the same thing. Whatever program we have, I support KLVB. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Goodman. Okay. Commissioners, any comments, anything you'd like to add to tonight's meeting? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Second.
Second.